Hi, everyone. This is CricketSong from Lunar Wisdom, and you are watching episode 2 of Wine, Witches, Witchcraft. Yay. I'm here with Renee, my lovely co-host.
Hello.
And tonight we have a guest. We're talking with Cole Ledbetter, also known as Eclectic Chaote. I can never pronounce that. I know how to spell it and I know what it means. And I have a link to his channel in the information section of the video. So if you don't know who he is and haven't had the pleasure to watch his videos, get your ass over there right now. And well, no, not right now. After the show, and go watch all his videos because he's cool. He was also on, what was your other channel? Purple
Killjoy.
Killjoy. Is that channel still up?
Yes, but I have unlisted all of the videos and for the one telling them to come to this channel.
Oh, well, too bad then you guys missed all those wonderful videos because I watched, I believe, every single one of them. So tonight, yes, tonight the wine that I am drinking is very high class wine. We have our lovely barefoot Pinot Grigio. I mean, it's super expensive, right?
Oh my gosh, I just had 1.5 liters of the Moscato version last weekend.
I don't like the Moscato. It's too sweet for me. But barefoot, hey, you can't go wrong, right? So I'm drinking the Pinot Grigio tonight. What are you guys drinking?
Same thing, Angry Orchard, crisp apple. I don't have the low sugar one this time. I didn't have enough time. We literally ran to go get this before the show. So because I was like, I need alcohol after the week that I have had. And if y'all are on Facebook, then you know why that I've resulted to drinking. But yes, Angry Orchards are my drink of choice.
What are you drinking, Cole, tonight?
Well, mine is also extremely fancy and expensive.
I know, we love it. Oh, yeah, box wine.
Oh, you brought out the box. Oh, my gosh, I'm back in college.
I know, right?
I don't know if you can see what it says, but it says drink up
Oh,
witches.
I love it. I want a glass. Where'd you get that? I got to get myself one.
TJ Maxx. I don't know if you have that.
Yeah, like I'm going to be able to go get one.
For you, Sherry, see if they come back out with them this fall.
Yeah, I bet I could go on Amazon. Right. It probably, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think I did go through TJ Maxx around Halloween, but I didn't see, I got candles, but I don't think I saw one of those.
They had so much cool stuff around Halloween.
Yeah. But, yeah, of course they do.
That's like me buying home furniture.
I know, right? Right. I want to say hey to everybody in the chat. Hey, Skittle Cat, Spirituality, Brittany. Yay, ginger ale for her. So what I'd like to talk about tonight, I think what Renee was alluding to on her Facebook, her Renee Yin Facebook, and what actually was quite the conversation in YouTube Pagans was we're kind of jumping from Brittany Skittle Cat Spirituality's video, a topic she touched on, but a topic that Renee and I actually spoke about back in November. And I wrote a blog post and Renee had wrote a blog post and we linked each other. But since then, Renee's blog with the viruses and all that shit, she took down her blog, but my blog's still up there. And it's titled The False Teacher, the Charlatan, and the Fake Guru. I'd kind of like to talk about this because I feel like with that whole conversation that happened in the YouTube Pagan Facebook group, it kind of got off the actual topic and started getting into semantics and word choices, where I actually want to talk about the idea of fake teachers or charlatans, or, you know, a guru, a fake guru, or a false teacher. I want to really talk about that because I don't know about you guys, but I know I've had a run-in with people who I would classify under one of those or all of those titles. Have you guys had an experience with someone like that you might have
Yeah, I have some people that I won't name by name, but you know, the crazy YouTube channels when you keep deep diving into the weird side of YouTube and you're like, whoa, I am now trying to figure out how to telekinetically move a giraffe or something like that. And then you see someone else and you watch the videos and you're like, whoa, this person's nuts. I've seen that. And then I've also recently had an experience of where I confronted someone with someone I considered a charlatan, and then had that backlash very quickly because this person was very well, I guess, what's the word? I guess they were, you know, had the approval of some of the, you know, more well-known witches with YouTube channels, and so thus, God forbid, you touch their poor little baby. So it's just a big part of a conversation we need to have, because the thing is, though, what I feel about our community, not just, you know, the pagan community, but the YouTube community as a whole, is self-policing. And that's the thing. And people don't like that we're self-policing. And if you don't like something, you're allowed to say something and like speak up for it. And also, but with that tends to come a lot of backlash.
Yeah. How about Cole? Have you had any like run-ins with people who, you know, claimed to be a teacher or a, I don't know.
Not really. Like I guess.
Well, you're super fortunate.
I know. I've kind of been able to just kind of like, I guess, tell that that's what's going on and just avoid them. But
right.
I mean, I have come across something Renee said about the telekinetic things. Like I've come across YouTubers and stuff like that and something, but I guess a better wording would be I've never been the victim of something like that. But I have met people who I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna. But yeah, I guess I've not really had too much experience with that. Now there is rumors that there's another tarot reader here in town, and she has like this big billboard and everything. But there are rumors that she has a husband who is a cop, and that she does background checks on people before they come, and that she uses that information in her readings. And so that's kind of weird. But then also I was kind of wondering if maybe that was just a rumor and maybe she's just making sure someone ain't a murderer coming to her office. So, I mean, I've heard like little bits and seen crazy people, but I've never been the victim of something like that. But yeah.
Right. You know, it's funny. Well, not funny. It's sad, actually, because where I live, in the city I live, there used to be more metaphysical shops. So right now there's 2. There used to be like 4. Now there's only 2. And each of the shops I used to read at one of them all had their own readers, right? So there used to be like competition between some of the shops. But in the greater area of where I live, there is another city that has a whole bunch of palm readers and tarot readers, and you can go to a medium. And one of them is right on one of the main roads. She has one of these flashing neon signs outside of her window, and it says, reading $5. Now, I only know about this. I've never gone to her, but I've had more than one client come to me after they have gone to her very distraught, because her practice is that, yes, you go in for a reading. She charges you $5. She does, I think, a 3-card spread. And the going scam is then she'll tell you either have a dark cloud around you, your aura is fractured, or you have a curse. And if you want her to remove that, it will cost you anywhere between $100 to $200. Yeah. And I have had clients tell me that they'll tell her, I don't have that kind of money. And they will tell her, well, don't you have a friend or family member that you can borrow from?
Dear goodness.
And then they tell her no. And she's like, well, there's nothing I can do for you until you come back with the money. And then they'll come to that's how I've gotten some individuals to come to me asking me to verify that this is an actuality before they pay her the money to remove this curse, black cloud, or repair their fractured aura.
Yeah. There's actually a TV show about this called Shut Eye. Now it starts off the guy being a charlatan, and then he bumps his head and gets actual psychic powers. But yeah, while he is still a charlatan, that is something that they do, is they'll be like, you have a curse, your aura is messed up, you know, like some sort of trick like that. But yeah.
Yeah.
But I kind of get frustrated. I kind of get this vibe from most like skeptic kind of super atheist people, I guess I would say, like atheist and skeptic, because atheist and skepticism is different. But I guess more super skepticism. But they say that I am robbing people, or just any tarot reader or witch or whatever is robbing people. And what I do, we can argue about if that is legit all day, but whenever I am doing it, I believe that I am actually doing something, and I am actually trying and putting an effort to hopefully actually make results happen. And it's not like I'm purposely being like, oh, hoo, I'm sneaking one over on this person and they're giving me money for it. Like, so to me, what a charlatan is someone who is doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to the intention of the individual. I mean, if you're going, and I think I talked about this in the post on YouTube Pagans, where what is your intention in doing what you're doing? It's one thing to pretend you are something in order to get people to pay you. And it's another thing if you believe what you're doing is true and you're getting paid for a service. I mean, it's all about, you know, are you just playing a role, or are you living what you're preaching or teaching or doing or practicing?
And like Skittlecat said, it's very hard to tell, because the people that you might like press into and be like, hey, why are you doing this? They're really good at acting. And they're going to say, oh, because I truly believe it. You know, like they're going to say what I've just said.
Mm-hmm.
But also a part of it is, I have noticed in my experience of being a reader that there are certain people that I can just not read very well, for whatever reason. And then there are other people that I can read extremely well. So someone that this customer might view me as a charlatan, other people might not. And then I might view someone else as a charlatan, but other people might not. And so it's kind of like, what is the line there, you know, and like, what should that be?
Is there even a line that we can really draw? Because in conversations with my husband, we've talked about, because I have a few people that I know personally and have known for many years who I would never go to for a reading. But they have a following, they have a clientele. But when I've sat in on a reading that they've done for someone, and I've heard recordings for readings that they've done for other people. And I can't believe that people pay for this, because part of it is they spend most of the time talking about themselves. And they actually, the way that they read is they'll pick a card and they'll say, oh, I picked the 5 of Pentacles. Does this mean anything to you? Oh. It's almost like they're getting the person to do their own reading. Or, you know, the 5 of Pentacles, I see this means generosity. Are you being generous in your life? I mean, it baffles me that I don't know. I guess I don't necessarily know if I would call that person a charlatan, but I almost feel like number one, they're bleeding, or they're pushing the reading to be longer than it needs to begin with. Like they're taking more time because time equals money. And then they're really not reading. I don't know.
I totally understand what you're saying. I guess at the end of the day, though, what is most important is the effect that they have on someone. Because I have people who are skeptics and stuff, and I'm like, well, you can view this as just like storytelling cards with no mystical aspect to them at all, and it's just something that helps your subconscious work through things. But what's important is that you leave my area feeling better. Hopefully.
Then you can.
Yeah.
And I guess the other point I wanted to make is what, in the conversations with my husband, we've talked about how there is a teacher for every level. You know, if you are, for example, someone that I may see teaching or offering a class, say they're offering a class for, $50, I may look at what they're offering and think, oh, I know that. That's, basic Wicca 101 stuff. I'm beyond that. But someone who may know nothing about Wicca may look at that and think, oh, wow, that's exactly what I need, and pay the $50 for that. Where for me, I feel like it's just not where I am. Do you know what I mean? Like there is a teacher for every level of development. And maybe someone I might look at and dismiss, someone else might not.
Well, how about Reiki?
Reiki.
What do y'all think about that? Because those, in my experience, are typically way more than I would ever charge personally.
Before you go, I will say that Sherry from all the way in Massachusetts has cured ailments within my house in Houston.
Oh, I fully believe in Reiki.
No, so my thing is, my experiences are with Sherry, which means they are awesome.
Oh, thank you.
They're awesome. And my man would be very much obliged to agree with you, because now all of a sudden things are healing the way they're supposed to and stuff. But I do believe there are some Reiki charlatans. They exist here in Houston. They call themselves also shamans, and they call themselves actually shamans. And then it makes my blood curl and kind of makes me do weird things with my face, and I can't control my facial expressions ever. But you see what I mean? So I get where you're coming from. But when it comes to Sherry, though, she is literally a Reiki master.
Okay, well, Sherry, so I take it that you have paid someone for classes and worked up through the ranks. Did you feel like it was worth it when you did those things?
Well, I need to preface this by saying I did not pay as much as what I've seen charged for what I've received, because this is like a lot of things. I feel I'm torn. I'm so torn because
are you INFP?
Huh?
Are you Myers-Briggs personality type INFP? Do you know anything?
Oh, am I? I think no. INF. Oh, maybe.
Because that's what I am, and we are known to being on the fence with most.
Maybe I have to look. I have it written down somewhere.
I have it somewhere down too. I
know I'm INF something.
I think I'm an INFP actually.
I'm INF something.
INFP?
Maybe.
Probably.
That's why we get along so well, right? Okay, I get paying a certain amount of money because ideally you're only the idea is that you are attuned by someone who's been attuned, and you can't be attuned by yourself. You can't attune yourself to Reiki energy. You can't get it from a book. It has to be passed from a Reiki master to a student, and you become a master from a master. It's the idea that at one time it wasn't written down. So you had to go to someone who knew the symbols, who could give you that information because it was all orally passed. But some of these prices that I've seen are crazy. I would never pay that, So I feel like everyone should be attuned to Reiki. Everybody should be able to do it for themselves and for others. But I understand that in this day and age, money is a value. And for some people, they don't get bartering, and money is what is used. So then I feel like because I've done it myself, I've given not necessarily Reiki, but when I first started reading, I'd give readings away for free. And then people would be coming to me all the time. And then when I started putting a dollar amount, be it $20, they stopped coming. Because now I was saying, I think my time is worth something, and they didn't want to pay it, but hell, they were there all the time when it was free.
Yeah, I'm actually in that boat right now as we speak, because I'm no longer doing readings for free unless you're one of 3 people who are like there with family. You know what I mean? Like you have that person be like, oh, you're a reader too. We're not going to charge each other.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
But it's like, the moment you start charging, it's like the reverse of the charlatan. People then all of a sudden think your time's not worth being spent for.
Exactly. So I mean, with Reiki, it's like, I feel like there should be a monetary amount, but I've seen for Reiki master attunement, there's Reiki 1, 2, 3, and master, or some people put 3 and master in one class, thousands of dollars for that. Yeah. It's like $100 for Reiki 1, $250 for Reiki 2, $500 for Reiki 3, and $1,000 for master teacher. When you're done with that, how much have you put out? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the common prices I've seen as well. I actually have a book on my Kindle called The Reiki Magic Guide to Self-Attunement. Don't know if you've ever seen that, Sherry.
I haven't, but I do know, at least from my teacher, that because you get your certificate and you trace your lineage. Mm-hmm. Like I can trace my lineage back to, I forget what the guy's name is. I'm a bad Reiki master, but I can trace my lineage. My master was trained and attuned by her, and we can trace it back to, oh, I'm so bad. Oh, shame.
The original guy.
Right, the original guy.
The important person.
Yeah, the head, the head of the pyramid, right? It's a pyramid scheme. Come on.
And that is very cool. But is it absolutely necessary? Like, could I learn what you know just by you or even me reading it?
You can learn it, but here's the certified. But you won't be certified, but the certification is more the lineage, because on your thing it tells you who your master is, and I guess it depends on the certificate. But it's the concept of only a witch can make a witch. If you're initiated into a coven, and at whatever degree, 2nd, 3rd degree, if you're in like a degree, you're given your energy is transferred from the high priest and high priestess into the initiate through the hands-on. It's very similar to that. So if you never got your symbols as a Reiki master, if you never got your symbols passed down, and me, say I'm your master teacher, if I did not lay my hands on you and pass the Reiki energy through me to you, then it's believed you didn't receive that energy.
See, this book says, that I have on my Kindle thing, it says that you can't be certified, you can't charge for this. I'm just teaching you it without the certification, basically. And there's a part in it that he talks about Reiki over long distance. So how does that work in your opinion?
Well, that's what I do with Renee. Well, and there's a debate on that. Some people say you can do an attunement in distance. Some people say you can't. Some people say that long distance Reiki healing doesn't really work as in-person Reiki healing does. But you know what? In my being a witch and then being a Reiki master, I honestly feel that even when I'm doing a spell for someone, me personally, I would rather have them in front of me And if I can't have them, I'd rather use sympathetic magic and have something that represents them in front of me. And when I do Reiki healings or even readings, if I'm not seeing the person on Skype or something, I like to hear their voice, because for me, sound is how everything for me travels. It's through sound. So that's the same with Reiki, in my opinion. If I can hear the person, if I can see what they look like, if I can tune into their energy, then I can do a Reiki healing. I can do spell work for that person, because I'm going to the astral realm. I'm going to the other realms to work with them, you know, in astral bodies. But if I can't get there and we can't meet there, then it doesn't matter what I'm trying to do. I personally believe it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd prefer them in person. You know, I prefer us to be in the same physical place.
And I'm one of those people where I have to see results to believe it. So I did take a risk when I did it with you. And then now I'm sitting here 6 months after the time he should have been healed, and he's already healed. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I see you over there, Sherry. I see you over there with your magical powers. I got you. Okay. So there's more to this planet than I really even understood, because I didn't really fully know Reiki. You know what I mean? So it was just kind of like, whoa, this is real. And I still have those moments now.
Are you both like kind of skeptical of yourselves or what you practice, I guess?
I am.
Basically, I guess what I mean is, like, I do all this necromancy stuff. I do all this vampiric stuff and magic and spell work and things. But in the back of my mind, I always have this idea of, you know, this could just all be made up in my head. I kind of play in both.
Well, it kind of is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if
it's psychological, leading to results, or if it's actual esoteric and bigger than everything, attuned to everything, that leads results.
That's what I'm talking about. Is it metaphysical, like some sort of, like whenever I'm talking to a ghost, am I talking to purely myself and my memory of that person, or is there actually an outside being?
Well, I think that depends on what, I mean,
it
depends.
Play in both fields.
Right. Well, for me, I find I'm so confused, because like, isn't it all the same thing? I mean, because I get caught in, is this a memory, or is this now, or is now a memory, or is it?
Does it matter? You know what I mean?
Right. Is it all happening right now? And my higher guide, my primary spirit guide, is actually me, like Bashar, you know, talking to another version of me that's in another realm, that is talking to me and presenting me as to someone else, because if it was me, I wouldn't believe it, because I think it's all in my head. So it just takes an image and says, hey, this is who I am, but I'm really me talking to me, you know?
Yeah, you can drive yourself crazy thinking that. But yeah, I think thoughts like that too.
Yeah, of course you do.
All the time.
I know. Huh?
If we do, it means that we're human, and that keeps us grounded and keep us. And I feel like that energy, even if that energy is that energy of uncertainty, it keeps us grounded. I think that's the flawed aspect of being human, that keeps us human. You know what I mean?
I think it's healthy to be that way.
Yeah, because my thing is, if I thought I was all knowing, all energy possessing, all everything, I would have nothing to gain.
Yeah.
If I questioned what I did daily, then I have a lot of shit to gain. That's the way I kind of see it. So I just say it, well, I'm in a position where I can receive information because I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's dangerous when we think we have all the answers, because then you're going to become stagnant at some point, and you're not going to want to grow, and you won't grow because you think, I got it covered.
I know this. It's just a cut and clear away. It's okay.
But I think it's important to have some idea that you do know certain things, because then if you're constantly doubting everything, then you're never going to get anything done.
You're going to go crazy.
Yeah. It's like it's that walking the tightrope, you know. Yeah. I can do this. I know I can do this, but maybe I can't. It's sort of that having confidence and then having a little bit of fear right before you cast a spell, but then doing it anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How did we
Where was I gonna
get
go
off
with this?
from
I
the
don't know.
charlatan? Let's go
You
back
know
to.
what? This is called an organic
I
conversation.
know.
I really love where this is going. Don't fight it, Sherry. Go
Oh,
with
okay.
the flow.
I remember what I was gonna say. Okay, so Renee was talking about you doing Reiki and then her realizing, whoa, shit, this stuff's real. So what are some other moments that you have kind of teetered into the more, oh shit, this stuff's real kind of things? Because I've recently had something that was really weird happen, but I want to let you two go first.
Invocation. And from Sherry's definition of the Wiccan understanding of invocation. Every time I have a doubt and I perform an invocation, I no longer doubt for months. Invocation is like that. I can't argue with it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that just, it's so big. It's overpowering, literally. And it's so real.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, believe it or not, I cast a spell and I'm like, yeah, let's see. Let's see if it actually, and when it manifests, it's like, I did that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I better be careful, because especially if if the spell manifests quicker than I anticipated, because there's that little doubt. Like, I know it. I'm going to do this. I know it worked last time. It was just a fluke. No, I know it worked last 3 times, but it's just a fluke. It was coincidence, even though I don't believe in coincidence. And I'll start having that conversation with myself. And then I'll cast the spell, and like 3 hours later, bam. And I'm like, holy shit. I did that.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But
Those are
I mean,
weird moments.
yeah.
Cole, I have a very important question for you.
Okay, go on.
Everyone in the chat has to absolutely know where you got your shirt. And they want to see your shirt.
Okay. I got it from killstar.com. It's a gothic clothing store kind of thing. It's like Hot Topic, but back when Hot Topic was actually still cool.
Okay.
So you want to know something? I just got to show you what shirt I'm wearing. Because, Cole, get out of my head.
Okay. Oh my god.
You have to talk, Sherry, so they can
What
see.
the fuck?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
How are you just now showing me this?
It's my Baphomet. And actually, I did get it from the Satanic Temple.
You're like, no, I actually supported this.
I did.
That's awesome.
I'm like, oh my god, Cole's wearing Baphomet too.
I'm wearing a support cystic fibrosis t-shirt from a race from like 10 years ago.
We're all wearing black.
Yeah.
Just pointing that out.
I live in black.
Me too. I once posted a Facebook picture and I was like, whenever you're goth and you're doing your laundry, and it was a picture of my washing machine and it was just a pit of black.
So what was your example, Cole? Talk to us about your...
Oh, okay. So I'm going to be careful with my wording here because this is other people's business. But basically I had a friend and who was having arguments going on in her life with someone else, and so it just kept happening, and I was eventually to the point, because I really care about this person, I was like, well, I don't know how much I can do, but let me see what I can do magically. And she was like, yeah, please do, and I said, well, let me do a reading, let me meditate and project myself there and see what I sense, because I don't want to do something. And I was basically trying to determine if it was the person or if it was some sort of entity influencing the person. And I didn't want to do something and then the entity just fuck it up again. And so I went into trance and meditative and stuff and projected myself there. And I was like, okay, so what's going on? And then I saw the person consumed in fire. Just a lot of fire. And then I saw them kind of switch and get really angry all of a sudden, and then very exhausted and tired. And the fire was always there. And then I also saw like this little slit hanging out around next to her in the air, kind of like Sauron's eye from Lord of the Rings. And even after I had that vision, I was still really confused. And I was like, what is that? Is that a symbolic representation of what's going on? Or is that an actual entity? What's going on here? And so I flipped a card and I got the Queen of Air, which a court card is usually a person or a personality. And I was like, okay, I'm still kind of confused. Let me use my pendulum. And basically, long story short, it said, yes, this is an entity. And I was like, okay, so I know what's going on. Tomorrow, I'm going to plan some spell work. At 3 a.m., I got a text message. I didn't wake up. I got this message the next morning when I woke up. It was a fire emoji from that person. Just a text message of a fire emoji. And I was super weirded out and very much scared and didn't know what was going on. And come to find out that could easily be explained away, basically. She's like, oh, I texted you that because of this. And I was like, oh, okay. And but I was still just like, that's really weird. Even though you told me the reason you did that, that's still kind of weird. And then I eventually, long story short, made a servitor spirit to kind of remedy the situation. And I posted that spirit's sigil on my Instagram because there is this belief that the more people that see it, the more powerful it becomes.
The more real it becomes.
Yeah. And somebody commented on that a bunch of fire emojis again. And I was very weirded out. And I'm like, I know these are all just coincidences. I know these can all be explained away, but still, what the fuck? You know, and it was just very strange and very weird.
And did the situation get remedied? Did everything?
It is currently getting remedied.
Oh, it's still in process.
It's still in process.
Mm.
But yeah, very weird experiences with that.
Yeah, like I said, I don't believe in coincidences. I mean, I like to, second guess.
I do, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't believe in coincidences. I'm more likely to believe, we've talked about miracles before, but I'm more likely to believe a miracle will happen before a coincidence. I feel like the universe is too complex to write it off.
Yeah, I mean, if we believe that everything's interconnected and that everything is joined and ultimately we're all one, then things are affecting other things constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So charlatans.
Yes, charlatans.
Can we all agree, and I'm just going to do this.
Do it.
Let it out.
If you are going to charge $450 for a 7-inch amethyst point, I am going to call you a charlatan. And I don't care. And I'm not going to apologize because it hurts someone's feelings. I don't roll that way. And I just want to make sure that I'm not insane. Because FYI, I've seen amethyst quartz points. Because, amethyst is just purple quartz. Kind of like citrine is orange quartz. You're going to do that. I'm going to call you a charlatan. Am I crazy? Am I just crazy? Because I'm sitting here and I feel like I'm losing my mind with these people.
I wouldn't pay that much for it.
I don't got that kind of money, y'all. What do you think I got in?
Well, how about
some coin, okay?
How about,
girl?
Would you ever pay $525 for a phone session that lasts 40 minutes with someone?
No.
I can't. I don't have that kind of money. That's half my rent.
Like the Long Island Medium? I mean, I know that's super.
Oh, God. Yeah. I'm not like Teresa Capito.
I don't like her either.
I honestly like her, but I've only exclusively watched her show. So I've only seen what she wants me to see. I will admit that. But I was just curious one day, and I wasn't really wanting a reading from her, but I was curious how much she charged for them. And it was like you said, like $450 something or something or more. And I was like, what? But I don't know. It's just, I don't, like, you best be giving me the fucking Akashi Records library as a whole. Like, I better know everything in the universe for that kind of money.
Yeah, I would never pay $525 for a phone read. I don't think I'd pay it for any kind of reading.
Well, you read for yourself too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have no reason to. I mean,
if I had money to spend frivolously, then maybe, but I don't.
How about personal coaching for $1,000 per month for a year?
Me and Renee did the same thing. We just both hand to chest.
How about business coaching for, what's the price? Hold on. Let me look at the price of that's personal coaching. $1,000 per month or $11K for the year. Let me find the other one. Is it business coaching? That's personal coaching. Yeah. Business mentorship and coaching for.
I'm a business consultant, so I don't care what.
$2,200 per month or $26K for the year.
No. Business consulting should not cost you more than the cost to operate your business. It needs to be, oh my God.
So you don't charge $2,200 for the year?
Why not?
I mean, for a month. For a month.
You know how I feel, Cricket. You know I run my own business, so it's just like that's not necessarily bad, but it's hard usually when someone's coming in for business consulting, they're already usually struggling to an extent. So it's just having them already be kind of on their hands and knees asking for help and asking for over $2,000 a month. That's just a lot. That's like crawling on your knees to Mexico. I'm just like, ooh.
Okay, now I'm going to open a can of worms. I'm not going to name names, but I'm going to say that those prices I just quoted are from a website from someone who started on YouTube.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. It's not hard to figure that out. I do it for $1,200 a month. And
that's more doable, you know?
But that's a fair price compared with you're coming to someone who has a decade of experience of running an actual business. That's not an actual esoteric business, but an actual business in the oil field of Houston, Texas. Like, I'm talking about the dog-eat-dog world. I'm talking about competition. I'm talking about website SEO, all of it. You're talking about someone who has that experience for everything. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but my thing is, though, you're talking about someone who's maintaining an esoteric business who's charging that much. No offense. I'm going to.
Yeah. And personal coaching, I know personal coaching differs depending on the person, you know, and what they charge. I don't know.
And even with that price that I gave you, if you're struggling with your business, I'd rather you take a gamble on me as a person and build some trust. And usually the first month I don't even charge, because it's about getting you off the ground to making you enough money to where you can even pay me back.
Yeah.
Right.
It's about me investing in them before they can even invest in me. That's how you work. Oh my God.
That's awesome.
My brain hurts. We can't.
That's my reaction to the world as a whole.
And you know, and I know that our time, like for me, time, you know, the readings that I do, my time is worth something. And I guess, you know, it comes down to you trying to figure out what you're comfortable with. And you know what, if this person is comfortable, obviously charging what they charge, then then wonderful. I'm happy for them. And it's not that I don't want them to do well in their business. And it's not that I don't want anybody, you know, to do terrible. I'm a small business owner too. You know, I think
can you pay that much with what you're making? Could that person ever generate enough revenue to where you can afford that price?
I could never. Well, I don't say never.
If
I raised my prices,
does revenue of 600 a year, that's what they can afford is 1,200. That's that's an actual algorithmic number based on revenue. No one can afford that, is my point. Because if you're over almost double that, that person has to make $1.2 million in revenue.
Well, they claim they make $1 million. They claim they make $1 million from their business.
I'm sure. That's great.
Like this is the danger zone that you enter whenever we talk about like services instead of physical products.
Right. But even physical products, $450 for an amethyst.
True. I don't know.
I guess this comes down to branding and how much is your name worth and how much is, if you're selling a name, not a product at that point. You're selling a brand, not the product.
You're selling to people who endorse you and not yourself. Sorry, I had to. So I feel. And I'm not going to be told that I am wrong because of that's legitimately how I feel. Regardless of how spiritual we can be. There comes to a point where we're allowed to say that something is wrong and be able to say that without fear of the whole world, everyone trying to come down on you for it. Because in the end, like I said before, this forum is self-policing. We're allowed to self-police. They don't have to listen to you, but you have a right to say whatever you want to say.
Say it. You have the right to say whatever the fuck you want to say, motherfucker.
And I said it. And the thing is, I didn't back down. Didn't backpedal. Still not backing down. Still not backpedaling. Not sorry. Not even going to say sorry, not sorry. That's not who I am. Ask Sherry. Rarely am I ever sorry for anything that I do.
Yeah.
It's my Pisces nature. I flow both ways, bitch.
Oh, you a Pisces? Okay, I get it now.
I got feelings. I've already thought this out before I did it. It's just sitting here and like, there comes to a point, especially when you have so many new pagans using this forum to learn this forum and to learn the information from us instead of books. That's the reality that we're living in now. Trust me, I know people to this day are asking me what the color green and red mean in correspondences. There's a certain responsibility to where we have to protect those people from stupid people who will literally take hundreds of dollars. Because Sherry will even tell you, I sent Sherry over $60 worth of spray because I had been had.
Oh, yeah.
I had been had. That woman got me for over $300.
Oh, my God.
Money I didn't have. I just sent them to Sherry because she thought they might smell good.
They did smell good.
As a body spray, they did nothing. There was no energy in them.
No. I used them as bathroom spray.
Oh
exactly.
God.
And I just had to get them out of my house because the reason why I'm so passionate about this because I have been had by a charlatan who was endorsed by one of these people that I'm talking about.
I know what you mean about no energy in it because it's like whenever you offer something to gods and then you can tell when they've ate it. You know what I mean? Like you pick it up and there's no energy.
Get it out of my house, and it literally became a bathroom spray in Sherry's house across the United States because they were so strong about not liking it. I still to this day have some of the oils, and I don't even use them. Will you want some free oils, Sherry? I'm sure you probably don't want any more.
No, I'm trying to get rid of some stuff.
I want oils.
You can charge them and make them work for you. That's not the point. But it's just when you pay so much for something, expecting a certain thing, there's no amount of disappointment. Because when you buy those things to get those results, you're buying hope.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's what no one's talking about.
That's the bottom line. Is
you buy hope.
Things that we are talking about is you are buying hope.
You put a literal price on hope.
Yep.
And when you don't get that thing, especially when you know your magic and your craft works, there's no greater disappointment than losing that money.
Be careful when a witch buys from a witch.
I know, right?
Because we're going to know if you didn't do what you promised to do.
Mm-hmm. And y'all act right in chat. I will put you in timeout so fast.
Oh, you and I clicked it at the same exact time.
I'm like, can y'all? Yeah, I got a melon head. It's beautiful. It's a lot of face to look at. Look at it. Look at it. Sorry. One ingredient or too many.
I thought I deleted him. It looks like you just put him in timeout. I thought I deleted him. You're nicer than I am.
Because I wanted them to sit here and be frustrated for 300 seconds, so in case he acted out again, I had a chance to cuss him out.
I don't have patience.
So are we
Get the
going
fuck
till
out.
8 o'clock?
Oh, yeah. No. Not, well, yeah. 8 for you, 9 for me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we might not have time to talk about this, but I wanted to mention the Christian Day podcast that I listened to.
Oh, that's right.
Like I said, we might not have time to talk about this, and that's fine. But basically, I listened to a Christian Day podcast, Hex Education, and I'm trying to get into it because I like some of the stuff that he talks about and says in like his books and things. But I mean, Christian Day is like a kind of controversial author. But anyway, long story short, they did a podcast saying that if you do animal sacrifice, that is not witchcraft. And then they had Lori Cabot on there, and she agreed with them and said that if you do any kind of harm or curse to anybody, that is not witchcraft. And in both situations, that you should not call yourself a witch. What is your opinion on that?
Well, I think it's witchcraft. I mean, I think you and I discussed it before where I said that it's not something I personally would do.
Yeah, same here.
But depending on what type of witchcraft you practice, I mean, I still think it's witchcraft.
Yeah.
And I think you're a witch if you, I think, like we were talking before, I feel like witches work with the forces of nature or the forces of the spiritual realms, depending on what type of witch you are, you know?
Well, in the podcast, they were talking about voodoo, and they were saying that that voodoo is not witchcraft. What do you think about that?
What is it?
Voodoo is witchcraft, more alive than half the pagans out here. I just came back from New Orleans in October, so don't mess.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what do you call it then?
What is voodoo if it's not witchcraft? It's just
still magic, right? Like it's still spellcraft.
It's a folk magic. It is the folk magic. If you ask me, it's so alive and vibrant and real. It is.
And I know witches who say their witchcraft is folk magic.
Mm-hmm.
They're practicing Nana's remedies, and grandma's recipe book is filled with spells. Their practice is folk magic, yet they call themselves witches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of my thing. Is it's like, well, what do you call it then? Because to me, it's all witchcraft. It might not be witchcraft that I would do, but it's still witchcraft. So I don't really, but like we talked about before, it's all just language. Like, it's kind of
watch out for that language though, because you can get into huge trouble. Right, Brittany?
Yeah.
Watch out for the word choices you use, because man, people will come right after you real quick.
That's what I wish people would realize more is I want people to dive deep into what a person means when they say something instead of what the word is. Like, I'm not going to play these linguistic gymnastics with you. Like, pay attention to what I'm saying.
Remember when I was doing Sacred Circle? Okay, tonight we're going to talk about blank. Let me define. Let's get our definitions together so we're all on the same page as to what we mean by blank. Because I know that people if I say a word like witchcraft, if we're talking to Laura Cabot and Christian Day, they're going to say they in their head have a definition for witchcraft, but I have a different definition, and we can't really communicate if we're not really talking about the same thing.
Exactly. And that's the thing with language is that it's so all over the place. that it's sometimes kind of hard to hold conversation.
Because I think someone's saying something that they're really not saying because
yes.
they have a different definition.
Which I think is what happened with Skittlecat's video.
I agree.
I didn't even watch Skittlecat's video, but I heard about it right before we went on this chat. And I will have to say, I so, after what I dealt with yesterday, empathize with her. Because if it was along the lines of what was actually made and the intentions were, I really don't believe she deserved the hate. Like, they literally had, I looked at it before we came online, they had to disable future comments. Like, that's too far.
Well, there was an original post that she made that kind of got carried out of hand, and she went in and deleted that and put up that second post, which then kind of got.
But like you said, if we were self-policing, well, like I said, if we're self-policing, there's going to be people that are going to attempt to police our policing. That's just the natural state of it.
Yeah.
Also, Cole, Hellbound Heathen wants to know if you're going to do another redneck Wicca video.
I don't know. I've been thinking about that, but I'm not sure what else I can do. But I might think of something.
Think of something, because
I want more. I'm gonna read hate comments. I want more of that.
I have plenty more.
I bet. I want to. That was laughing. He had me laughing so hard.
I thought that video was a fun one to make. I got a little bit of, I guess, negative quote unquote feedback about that. Like, people saying that I was focusing on the negative and stuff. But I thought it was funny.
I thought you were making a joke about a negative situation.
I was just being a goofball, you know?
Yeah, like, I know you were.
I just thought it was funny. But
I thought it was funny.
But yeah, I might do another one. I don't know.
I think you should.
I might do another redneck witchcraft.
I wish I got a lot more. No, forget it. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse. They're funny to read, but at the same time, they're kind of annoying.
I don't get very many. The ones I get is "Go find Jesus." Yeah, witches are going to hell.
Yeah,
those are the things I get. I'm like,
yeah,
you're too cute to believe in Satan. That's what I get.
I get told I'm too cute to be gay a lot, so that's a lot of fun.
Also, all the girls are fangirling you right now, including the boys. So just so you know, you're being fangirled everywhere. People are screenshotting your picture right now and putting them on their bedroom walls.
Oh, that makes me feel good.
Well, it's 12:58, Cricket.
It is. It's 8:58. It is. So I guess it's time to say goodbye to all our friends out there in TV land. I see Brittany and yeah, so that's it for this week. Renee and I will be back next week. Not sure what we're talking about. Not sure what we're drinking. But
probably
yeah,
drinking similar stuff, talking about other stuff, you know, starting shit, you know.
It's definitely going to be about magic or witches or witchcraft and wine.
Have me on the show again. We still need to talk about that Lovecraft stuff.
Yes. Oh shit! I didn't want to have guests every week, but
I mean, eventually, you know,
the people love the Cole, Sherry. They just love him.
I know.
Dragon Feather's upset she came in late because she's like in love with Cole right now. You know what I mean? Like,
I know. I see. I'm always fangirling for Cole. Of course. I know I want to have Aaron back on, and we were going to do at one point readings. That was going to be his last show. Remember last year for Sacred Circles. So we should get him on and do some readings for people at some point too. And I think Brittany would be great. Skittlecat Spiritual, if she's available, having her come on and chit chat with us would be good too.
Yeah. I missed having Cole, so you should come back.
Yes, I think we do good. Yeah.
I'm going to cry.
Oh, don't cry. So thank you all for coming, and check out we don't have an official sponsor anymore for the show. If you want to be an official sponsor and find out how you can be an official sponsor, go check out Lunar Wisdom's Patreon page. I also have other perks for people who sign up to support. Free monthly readings, exclusive video series, blog posts, all that fun stuff. Go check it out.
Darkest secrets, a hot husband. Trust me, you want to get on that Patreon.
Oh, the quest within. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty in-depth series we have up there. So go check it out. And we'll be back next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wine, witches, witchcraft. See you then. Love you all. Blessed be.
Mwah.
Bye.